Hi friends, it's Nancy and I'm here to do a flip through of this journal. It's almost just about 8 inches by 10, and the spine is an inch, an inch and a quarter. And this is a hidden hollow back spine. So I've got 5 signatures in there, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 5. Yeah, 5. Didn't think I'd forgotten already. Anyway, I made this one for Halloween, and it has a sort of a Houdini theme. I imagine you've heard of who Henry Houdini is. He actually died on Halloween, so there's that connection. Lots of early 20th century illustrations and photos in here. I covered the back, or I'm sorry, the spine with this sequined fabric. And on the inside, I've done this fabric cover, front and back. Get a better look at it on the back, I guess. And it matches the fabric that I sewed the signatures to. So let's go back to the front. So here I have a photo of Harry Houdini, and I've stitched some sequins there and added this little moon picture so you have a place to journal. And then I have this hand tuck spot that's been stitched down. Just a little decorative paper there. So the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, about the Headless Horseman, that was written by Washington Irving. I remember watching a cartoon on Disney when I was a kid. Remember when Disney, there was a Sunday evening Disney show? Anyway, Headless Horseman. I added this book plate, and it has little owls here, and took this piece of fabric and glued it down as well. I made this star using some Headless Horseman music. And here's a little theater, gosh, it'll come to me in the middle of the night. Anyway, program. Oh my gosh, it came to me now. And it includes a mention of Houdini there, the justly world-famous self-liberator. And that just tucks up under that star. Here is a stamp, a U.S. stamp that includes an illustration of the Headless Horseman. This page came from World War II. This is a war savings bond book, and you would buy stamps 10 cents a piece and fill it up. And I've stitched that like that so that you can open it up and write on the inside as well. This is an illustration from a book about games. Some tea-dyed ledger paper. This is texture paste. I have a stencil of a skull that looks like that. And this paper came from the flyleaf of a book. Here's some ledger paper. This is a very old book page about biology, anatomy, I think you would say. This is a music manuscript paper here, but I have added this time booklet. So you would record the names and the hours that employees worked. And here's the music manuscript. This is a piece of a signature, not a signature, sorry, a folio from a little pocket notebook, and the date is October 31st, 1916. I could have erased the pencil, but I thought the new owner would want to read it. Says here that it was a fine day and mild. So I stitched that down. This is an illustration from a book, and I've just sewed on some black lace. Here's the other side of that picture. I've made a little pocket here and included this came from a very old photo album. So I've just put in some pictures there and stitched around it. Here's some pages from an encyclopedia. I've just tucked those up under this star. This one is also from the same encyclopedia. I feel like I'm crooked. Okay. Here's another photo of Harry Houdini, and he's all in his manacles there, his several handcuffs, and you see this beaded edge here. You pull that out, and there is a an image of a poster, and I've attached it to some file folders so it can be. This is a belly band, actually. You could tuck something in from the other side as well, but I tucked this in so that the beading would be right along the edge. Some packing paper. This is some tea-dyed ledger paper of some kind. There's some music paper. This page came from a book about watches and clocks. I made this lace pocket. This came from an encyclopedia. This is the calendar for October 1943. This came from a book about bridge. This came from a spelling book, and I've included this children's playing card of a cow jumping over the moon. The purple and the moon were kind of nice. This is a train record. Tracking the freight of trains. I believe this was from the 1930s. There's some more music. There's two more Houdini posters, and I fussy cut this from a book about magic. And inside that tuck spot, I've made two tags using a collage of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow stamps. And this came from a children's story. It's an owl. It says Blue Ribbon Premium Department. Oh. This is card number 10. Anyway, got an owl. Some bullet journal paper, and I have stitched on this seating chart from a teacher's classroom book. This is special. This came from, this is a letter that dates to 1925. I had given this to Catherine, and she gave it back to me because she knew I was doing a Houdini theme journal. And it's from October 14th, and we know it was 1925. And actually, it talks about Dear Peg, the only books I know are the ones I packed and sent in the trunk. If you didn't find them there, Houdini should be notified. And this is some paper that I stained with spinach and laid leaves on it. So we're just going to put that back here. This is a very old steel paper clip. This came from a book about a script using speedball pens. I thought it was really interesting, really graphic. This is an old bingo card, and I've just put it in this lace pocket. The other side, oh, we missed a whole bunch of stuff in here. This came from a storybook, a children's fairy tale book. So, of course, we have this hideous creature. This is from 1929 diary, and it includes October 31st. Fussy cut a magician there, pulling a rabbit out of his hat. Here's another. This was a book about magicians that I got all of these from. So this one, this poster includes a mention of Houdini. Here's another Houdini, and I stitched on some sequins on both sides, and it's ready to go for journaling. Here's a piece of ledger. This came from a reproduction of a Sears catalog. This is a paper bag, and I stitched on one of those stamps, Sleepy Hollow stamps. And inside is a tag. This tag was made from an old ledger, and it had newspaper cuttings glued into the ledger. So I made tags using a die, a Sizzix die, I think. And I just added this little image that I cut from some Halloween themed paper and added this fabric tie that has spider webs. This is a vintage trick-or-treat bag, and inside I made this tag from, this was part of a photo album that had this velvet, like embossed fabric. I stitched on these blingy things and added this chiffon ribbon bow. Did some stitching, and it just slides right in here with that black cat. This came from a botany book, and it talks about the Venus flytrap. That's kind of creepy. Here's some tea-dyed grid paper, and I've cut these little images of bats from a natural history book. There's some more of that botany book. Just sewed this trim onto some tea-dyed ledger. Here's the other side of this bag. I fussy cut this witch out, and inside is a shaker card that I made earlier this year. And it has sequins and beads and googly eyeballs, and there's a magician in the back. And it talks about the discovery of witchcraft. Journaling can happen on that. So it just slides right in the bag. It's the other side of that Sears catalog. I fussy cut this image from a book. I thought it looked kind of creepy with 3 heads. This is Houdini and his wife. And again, I stitched some more sequins on there and on the page itself, and fussy cut this magician. And again, this is a challenge from lifeguards, and Houdini accepts it and he's going to test that out on a Friday night in July. This came from a fairy tale book, and I thought with the cauldron, and I couldn't quite figure out what was going on here. Like, there seems to be feet and legs here, but where's the rest of the person? And she kind of looks a little witchy. This is a cash account book, and that was from October. And I stitched that to a page from a book about poisoning. Another lace pocket. This is vintage. It says menu, and it has a little cauldron here, and it's blank on the inside, so you would put your menu in there. And this is a reproduction label on a postcard. Well, it's vintage, 1986 it says. So there's a mostly black cat with some purple and orange. Here's a fashion book with some antique old men's fashions. There's a diary page. This is a piece of ledger. This came from a book about insects. So we've got some spiders and scorpions and flies. And here I added some more. This is an illustration from a book about magic, and I added some stars here with stickles. The other side of that poisoning book, and I've just added on this checklist. Fussy cut this lady from a book. And again, we have a bingo card that I've inked around, and it can be used for journaling. And I made this pocket from this poster, image from a poster. So that's the cape of the magician from the first part of that signature. So if this is something that you're interested in adding to your collection, go over, take a look at my Etsy shop, see if it's still available. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe it gave you some ideas of things that you might want to try in your journals. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.